Hello and welcome back to another chatbot on Robot Republic with me, Josh or Riku. Today I'm joined by two very special guests because I have Orkais, who is translating for Davy from Red Sorel Productions over in France. Hello, both of you.
Hi.
Hi Riku, how are you today?
I'm doing really well, thanks. How are you guys?
Well, we've seen each other, so it's okay.
It's fine. I'm a little stressful about this, but it will be fine, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I was wondering, what is the weather like in France at the moment? Because we're having kind of like hot spells and rain in Britain.
Today it's really sunny, but we had some rainy days before.
But we are very close of England since we are in Dunkirk.
Oh, okay.
It's near Calais, so I think the weather is kinda the same with Douve.
Oh, yeah. I mean, to be fair, yeah, the times I've been normally through Calais, it's been the same as when I got on the ferry in Britain, to be fair. So kind of get that. But we are here to talk about a really special game, a game that kind of cropped up on our radar a few weeks ago, called Until the End, which is a gorgeous pixel art game where you take on the role of a palliative care nurse, which is something that is quite special to me. Well, my mum being a nurse and everything, it's kind of one of those games where I was like, oh, it's really nice to kind of see people making these games about people that are key workers and all this other stuff and whatnot. So yeah, I think my first question really is, where did the inspiration from Until the End come from?
Well, I should begin. If you know, I was working in a boarding school, and we had some free time when kids were quiet, and I was doing a lot of pixel art to entertain myself. At the same time, my partner in life was doing an internship in palliative care.
Wow.
During one of my shifts, I drew an entire hospital ward, and people around me liked it. So when she was coming home from this internship, my girlfriend would tell me all the stories and the emotions she was experiencing. Of course, she was mindful of medical confidentiality. I guess in England it's the same thing that in France.
Very
Um,
similar.
yeah, and never gave me the name or thing like that. But I love video games, and I did some game jam. It's a special event where in 48 hour we create game, and I wanted something by myself. I wanted a real project. So I opened my pixel art project on the hospital and start to create a war game. Excuse my English. We are in France. It's a bit complicated. Uh, it's a new subject, palliative care, as you said. It's really original, and I think that's one of the strengths of the project. And that's pretty all I have to say about it.
Yeah, we really wanted to talk about life and death and about our experiences and the experiences of the people around us. My dad died a few years ago, and we did not put him in palliative care, but we did palliative care at home, and I spent a lot of time with the nurses and the healthcare assistants. And when he said he wanted to create a game around that, I jumped in because I wanted to honor all of this.
Oh, that's really beautiful. I mean, I'm really sorry for your loss. Losing a family member is tough at any time. But that's like a really beautiful reason to make a video game, actually, that you want to honor these amazing people. Because, well, for those people that aren't aware, palliative care is, end of life care, either at home or in hospital. And it's a very difficult job. And to have a video game that is, and it is really kind of like, it's got this very wholesome feel to it and stuff, and it's just gorgeous. And that's really beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. So honestly, I got a little bit emotional about that. God.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Kind of going back to the game, because it's such a beautiful concept and the inspiration is gorgeous, and so wholesome as well. When you were kind of developing the game, you mentioned it, you did a game jam and you kind of were working on pixel art and stuff at the same time. Kind of, were there any types of games that you kind of looked at and thought, oh, that's quite interesting? Because I know there are kind of like some indie games that kind of cover the more kind of like branching dialogue and very narratively heavy, not so much interactive novels, but more things like I'm thinking things like Coffee Talk, and those kind of indie games where it's very kind of like dialogue focused, chit chat. I call them chit chat games, which winds our editor up sometimes. But was there any kind of games that you looked at and thought, I kind of want to do, I want to take something from that game and something from that game, kind of like merge them together? Or was it just like, I want to do something completely different that people may not have seen before?
Well, I've never been a big visual novel player, you know. It's a bit new to me. Like everyone, I think we have played game like Life is Strange, maybe. The Telltales one too, like Walking Dead. There is this game with what's the English for contes, les contes?
Tale.
Tale. You know this one where you play the werewolf from Telltale. It's a thriller one.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the name.
Yeah, there is Snow White, there is the wolf, there is there is everyone in. I can't remember the name, but people will figure it out. I'm sure.
Let us know in the comments below if you've remember what the game is, because both of us are drawing a blank.
It's kind of new. I tend to play dialogue-rich RPG, you know, like Baldur's Gate, Persona, but it's not really the same. So I wanted to tell a story. I think this game, these games are the games that manage to do it in the purest way. Even so, it's still considered a niche genre. It has managed to touch so many people, and we have to look at them.
I'm an avid visual novel player. You talk about Coffee Talk. I have it on my PC and on my Switch. I play Doki Doki Literature Club. I play a lot of visual novels, so I can help him in a way with my experience.
She's very helpful, very helpful. She's. I have this. I made mistakes, you know. I'm not the kind of guy who writes everything and then starts. Yeah. I put it in a game, then I write again, and I just have a little point where I know how it will finish. Yeah. But I don't have the story between points A and points B. So she helps me a lot with organization. I'm not very organized.
Neither am I. Neither am I. I'm someone who I'm like, I have this many things to do, and I just look at it and go, I'm feeling that one today. I'll do that one tomorrow. I'll do that one today. I'll do a little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit of this. Yeah, I get that. So kind of, I mean, we've already kind of touched on it and stuff. When you mentioned that you were working a lot on kind of, you did a lot of kind of pixel art stuff over the last few years through kind of lockdown and other bits and bobs. Was it that love of pixel art that kind of, was it your love of pixel art that said, I'm going to make this game in a pixel art format? Because I love pixel art games. I grew up with, like, you know, Game Boy, the original Game Boy and the Game Boy Color and pixel art games are just, I love them. There's a real sense of nostalgia there. Was that decision kind of, I enjoy pixel art and I want to make this game and the game will be pixel art? Or was it more of a, I want to make a game, I'm good at pixel art, so I might as well merge the two?
Well, I'm like you, I guess. I spent nights playing Pokemon, Gold and Silver, Red and Blue. I was 8 or 7 when Red and Blue came off, and that changed my life. Totally. It was amazing, and it's quite simple for a game. I can't draw. I can draw a cow-like creature that I have tend to sketch everywhere since I my high school philosophy classes, but I'm not able to do 2D classical graphic, and pixel art allow me to have original graphics since I didn't want to use assets from other games. So I wanted until the end to have a unique identity. And it's been quite difficult because in 3 years, 2.5 was dedicated to isometry. You know what isometry is? I've been corrupted by Final Fantasy Tactic Advance.
Yeah.
Dofus. I don't know if Dofus is popular outside France.
I recognize the name. I haven't played it personally, but I recognize the name.
It's a French MMO. What's the English one?
MMORPG.
MMORPG. It's in isometric. It's fabulous. So, however, when using isometrics, you are too far from the scene, and the character. So I decided to use top-down point of view, but it's kind of new for me because I really worked on isometric only. If you check my Twitter, my old posts, it's only isometric. I love that. I love that more than everything else. It's really a passion. So it's kind of hard to work in a top-down view, but I work for the game, not for my preference, And I feel it's a better view for the player to have this top-down view where you don't have to move the camera to see what happened. You just look at the scene and you have this omniscient point of view where you can see everything.
However, we still work with an artist, Anke Lyon.
Yeah, she's doing the title screen.
She's doing the title screen, so this will be a beautiful drawing. We just got it yesterday.
Yeah.
And I drew the main characters for the press kits.
Yeah, too.
It was not really. I just wanted to do that for the fun, but he finished fighting.
And it was good. It was really better than what you did previously.
No.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
so yeah, but the title screen, if you play the demo, actually, you can see a black screen with Ankelio is really working hard on the title. So we got it yesterday, and it's a classic 2D art.
It's wonderful, really.
It's undrawn, and we are really we happy with it. And she's a strength in the group since she shares a lot on her social media. She has a lot more visibility than us, so she's an important element of the team. Yeah, she is. It's a game surrounded by women. I'm the only man on the project, and all the people around me are women. It's a woman game. It is.
I like that. It's a woman. It's a female dev team with one male in there. That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's totally is.
So kind of obviously we kind of mentioned the game is about palliative care, and both of you have kind of got personal experience with palliative care in some way, shape, or form, be it through partners or be it through personal, direct kind of contact and stuff with them. When you were, because when I was kind of doing research and stuff, I kind of did a lot of kind of looking at the game and stuff, and it's very accurate to what it is actually like for people.
Oh my god, man!
Like I showed a chunk of it to my mum, and my mum was like, "Yeah, that was pretty much what I did when I worked in palliative care."
Thank you so much.
That's really what you wanted.
Yeah, it's just I was gonna say, did you kind of? Obviously, I'm assuming quite a lot of the ideas and stuff came from discussions and personal experience and stuff. Did you do a lot of kind of like external research, or was it mainly just from those personal experiences and anecdotes?
That was months of stories about the service, at least half an hour a day. My girlfriend really needed to release the pressure, and to get away from all the crazy emotion she experienced each time she went to work. So it was intense for her, and I had a really boring job at the time. So it was a great experience for me to live all of that thanks to her.
Yeah.
Of course, it was by times you can imagine that not all days in palliative care are happy. Paradoxically, I've never seen her happier than when she worked there, you know? She felt useful. Useful is a true word, I think, in this.
Absolutely.
There are few patients, unlike in a regular ward, so you can spend time with each of them, and time is their most precious resources when they are there. To be short, the game is inspired by real life, our experiences, like you said, and the experiences of those living around us.
Yes, he's rambling a lot, but what he does mean is that he didn't do any research outside of our talks.
Kinda, but my partner in life actually don't work in palliative care, but she wants to return anymore. But she wants to return in it, and she still have very, very, very close friends who are in, and they are not nurses. They can be assistant healthcare, but that's a point we will talk about later, I think. So yeah, I love it. It's so beautiful to have a place where people are not here to be cured, but to be
accompanied.
Yeah, that's the word I was thinking.
I think I did the most researches when it came to the worlds, because I mean, in France we have the aide-soignante, and they have a very specific job, and this job is not shared by any other in the world. I mean, that's not, they don't have the same tasks and things like that. So yeah, we spent most of the researches searching for the correct words to put to everything. Really, totally. Really.
We had to choose between two names. It's not exactly that. Well, it's what kind of hard, but I hope when you play until the end that you can recognize the job. Yeah. It was cool.
Oh, that's brilliant. So kind of thinking about the story of the game, kind of from the trailers and the stuff that we've kind of been able to kind of like look at and stuff with regards to the game, it has quite an interesting beginning. There is a story regarding a prime minister of this town. You're working in palliative care in a small. I couldn't work out whether it was a small town or a small city or a big town, but the prime minister gets taken into the hospital and stuff. How does the kind of general story and narrative of the game kind of develop over time? Obviously, without giving away major plot spoilers. I can't talk.
I won't spoil anything, but it's kind of hard to say. I had a clear idea of the atmosphere I wanted to create, but what could I make the player do so that they wouldn't get bored? Plus, I didn't want it to be an educational game, you know? You won't play the game and be able to be a nurse after it. So I took all the scary stories that my partner has experienced during a night to add a touch of mystery and esotericism. However, about the political side of the game with the prime minister lawyers, it's more my personal jam. I love Sherlock Holmes, like many of us, I think. And I really wanted Zoe to investigate what was really going on in this particular institute, because it's not a real hospital. It's not a, what's the English word for clinic privé?
Private clinic.
Private clinic. It's so, but it will be secondary compared to the patient management, of course. But I wanted to add diversity in the experience.
I guess it's still kind of a spoiler, because in the demo we don't see anything about the political aspect except the fact that lawyers came here. But there really will be a whole side of investigation that is very important in the game.
That sounds brilliant as well, and that kind of that variation kind of must lead to some very interesting narrative plot points as well.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, that sounds brilliant. I did notice as well when we were kind of with the stuff that we've been able to kind of get our hands on stuff with the game at the moment, that there are kind of, you've got these kind of dialogue decisions and these varying aspects of kind of branching dialogue within the game. Kind of, are there like, you know, is there like a Life is Strange level that every single dialogue choice has an impact in the story in some way, shape, or form? Or did you kind of and kind of how did you and the team kind of manage all of that? Because I know from personal experience, when you're working on branching dialogue stuff, you kind of need to get to a point where you're like, right, it's going to stop there. Otherwise, we're just going to keep going and keep going and keep going. And you just sit there and go, oh, when does it end?
It never ends. This is the most time-consuming of the job, you know. I hate games that give me false choice. So obviously, I don't want to put them here and there, create illusion.
Yeah.
Not all choice are equally important, but they are of impacts.
Yeah.
But giving you an exact number is kind of hard. All I can, excuse me again for my English, all I can tell you is that I'm working really hard to make the game adapt to your choices. A different word doesn't mean always a different ending, but it's a different way to go there. There are currently three different different endings.
There are trois endings.
Yes.
Trois endings.
Merci. But I still have some ideas in mind, and I may implement more of them by the time the game is released, or why not later even. And little tip, it's not a spoiler, it's a warning. If you make mistake, if you just don't care about the patient or things like the comfort, you can find one ending really quick.
I think that's part of the game though, isn't it? If you're working in palliative care and you don't care about the patients, then
you don't have your place.
Exactly. Yeah. You shouldn't get a good ending. It shouldn't be all smiles and sunshines. If you're a bad nurse, you should get a bad ending. There'll be someone will probably tell me I'm wrong on that, but still.
It's so a special job. Palliative care nurse aren't nurses, just nurses. It's how to say that it's a whole job with multiple skills. You speak with people, you handle families, you handle so many things. It's not just about the cure, it's not about the bandage, it's not about the medication, it's about so many things. So yeah, I wanted to do I think that it's fun in this kind of game to have mini ending and have a short one. It was fun. It was fun, just fun.
Honestly, I cannot wait to play the full game.
Oh.
The demo that I played, I was like,
so much pressure on him.
Yeah, I'm super
when it's ready. Obviously, I don't want you guys to be like, oh God, he said he wants it now. No, I don't. I can't wait to play it, but I can wait. So when kind of thinking about the dialogue and some of the choices in some of like the on the Steam kind of page and stuff, and some of the stuff that we've kind of looked at for this, it states that some of the choices are what were referred to as out of the ordinary. Can you, obviously without giving anything away and whatnot, can you tell us anything a bit more about that? Can you elaborate on that a little bit more, or is it just like a case of just play it and find out?
No, to be fair, the whole experience is out of ordinary, you know. It's important to know that the experience in palliative care varies greatly from country to country. However, in France, when painkillers are no longer sufficient and the patient can no longer bear his condition, beer, it's beer. Beer is for drinking, yeah?
Yes.
My bad. this condition, there is a committee meeting. It includes the doctor, the nurses, and the healthcare assistants. Everyone have a say before the doctor make the decision. And this decision can be what we called here a deep and continuous sedation. It's not euthanasia nor assisted suicide. The patient is sedated and put to sleep so that they no longer suffer. It's even reversible, but usually it's left until the patient dies. And the player will have a say in this. You will be able to push the button.
Yeah.
Push the button. As we can say, if you want to. The difficulty is to leave the choice. It's a very impactful event. They are very impactful events, because there is many of them. And I'm sure that depending your belief, your culture, and your life experience, until then will be a very different from one player to another.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, in France, we don't have euthanasia.
Yeah, it's forbidden.
It's forbidden. And I know that in many countries it's legalized. So I guess, well, people where we live go to Belgium to die, mostly. But I guess if you're...
It's the same in UK, it's forbidden too? Yeah?
Yeah, we do. So the nearest thing we have in the UK to euthanasia, quote unquote, is what is referred to as a do not resuscitate order. So basically, and that's it. So if someone has a major heart attack and they stop breathing or something, instead of the doctors or the paramedics doing CPR and chest compressions and all of that stuff, it's just a case of they're gone. And that's the closest thing we have to that. And then, but then, like you say, we have people that do go to clinics in Belgium and Switzerland if they get told some terrible, to die, because they're kind of like, well, actually.
So you don't even have a sedation. You don't put your patient to sleep. It just
it depends on the thing. So obviously, like if a patient's in really bad state, then they can be kind of like sedated and stuff, but not to the level of euthanasia. Like, you know, if you're in massive amounts of pain, you'll be put on painkillers and stuff, but you just kind of, which is why palliative care is, you know, really important, because you have people that end up in these situations where they can't hop over borders and make that decision, and so they, you know, have to be kind of comfy and stuff. And I think that's why this game is so, for me personally, this game is so beautiful. But yeah, it's, I think it's very similar to what you guys have in France in that.
Yeah, that's the same.
Yeah.
But I think if I mean, I don't know if you're from India. I don't know why I say India, but that's because I don't think maybe they will be able to push the button as easily as we will, or things like that. And that's what is beautiful about the game, is that everyone will experience it in their way and as they wish.
Yeah, we didn't want to impose, to force someone to do what he didn't want to. Religious people are really against things like euthanasia. So we let the choices. We let the choice, and but I still hope they will relaunch the game and take another option to see what happened in this case. We'll see.
It sounds brilliant. The other thing that I really like about, and I think it's in your on your Steam, on the game's Steam page, is that the game kind of focuses on the joyful aspects of working in palliative care. So I think my next big question kind of ties in with that, and kind of how did you strike that balance? Because obviously a lot of people assume palliative care, end of life care, it's a really sad, quite depressing, quite kind of heavy setting to be in. How have you kind of balanced the joyful aspects with that kind of, that more, you know, sadder setting, really?
Well, I guess that Zoe, in French we said Zoe. It's Zoe in English. Zoe. The main character. She is the key. She is definitely the key. She is naive. She's curious, teasing, and above all, very in-your-face style. She leads to funny situation that I hope counterbalance the tragic events of life. I wanted a character who make us smile. It's not really a side of her that we can discover in the demo. As it's her first day, she is clumsy, lost, but she adapts quickly. She's someone who works with humor, yeah, and some of her passions will be very funny too, you know. There is no magic recipe about it. I try, I start the game, I change, restart, I remake change. Then once I'm satisfied, I send it to my translator, okay, and some of my friends who modified things too. It's a constant process. You can't imagine how many changes the demo has undergone. I didn't want to fall into pathos. Don't know if pathos is a common word in English.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm well surrounded. I'm so well surrounded. I have experienced players who play the game frequently and give me honest feedback, and I can take it, you know. If it doesn't work, well, I just change it, I restart, and that's kind of all. I have no, it's kind of hard sometimes when you put so many hours in your dialogues on your scene, and it just doesn't work. And I think my biggest strength it's to be able to take this and say, okay, I did bad. I did really bad, and I will do it again until it works.
Yeah.
I'm also always on his back.
Yeah,
when
totally.
he works during the night, and when I wake up in the morning, he has sent me things, and I'm here. And when he wakes up, I send him like 20 or 30 messages. I'm like, this don't work, this won't go, this don't go well. Oh no, oh you should do that, you should do that. And he tends to write as if he was writing a novel. I mean, his sentences are so long.
Yeah,
and when you try to make dialogue, it just doesn't work.
No.
I mean, it has to be quick and witty and funny. And
I'm funny.
You are funny, but you're long.
Yeah, true.
So I often have to rewrite things even in French before translating it to English.
It's true, but it's not my fault, you know. I don't know how it works in England, but in France, she did a scientific way, you know, from school. And I have a literature way. So I wrote long sentence with many words, and it's kind of bad sometimes. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, it sounds brilliant, and I love the fact as well that your Orkais is kind of sitting there, not only translating, but is pretty much your QA for some of this as well.
Yeah, she's totally. She's way more than translator. She handled the social space too, and we are friends since many years now.
Oh, I don't. We've known each other for
5, 6,
more, 6 or 7 years.
6 and 7. Wow. So yeah, she did way more than that. Sure.
Oh, that's amazing.
I said to you that I'm well surrounded. I said it 3 times. That's 4 now.
I'm going to blush.
Oh, brilliant. My next question is it's very much tied to the kind of the dialogue aspects of the game. So obviously there is, as we've just kind of established, loads and loads of dialogue in the game. Kind of, how have you kind of handled the programming of that? Kind of, have you been using an engine like Ink or Arcweave, or have you been doing something completely bespoke? How have you kind of managed the kind of like writing all these dialogue branches and then programming them in must be an absolute just headache. So how have you gone about that process?
So we are on the technical system things. Okay. So well, I'm not a programmer, you know. I'm not a developer. I'm a pixel artist. So I had to find a way to create without really coding. all I know about this kind of stuff is variable and condition. I don't know even if condition is an English word for what I mean, but the system is quite simple. You know, each protagonist is linked to a variable. To explain it literally, let's imagine that Alex is associated with the letter A. The value of the letter A at the beginning of the game is 0, you know, and each choice you make, this number will go up or down. And when an event occurs, the game checks the number, and depending on the result, adapt the scene. So you can find an example of this in the demo because it's really the beginning of the game. So Alex starts with 0, and following your interview with Mrs. Bottleneck, you have 3 choices. And these 3 choices leads to 3 different scenes. In short, so I would say that everything revolves around condition and variable, like I said. That's pretty much all I know how to do it at the moment. So maybe I hope, you know, that it will motivate more people to get started. Everyone can make games. We have so many tools today to create games. Let's go, just go, and it's key. I'm not a mathematician, you know. I have a literature parkour way, so I kind of sucks at math, and it's not that hard. You just need time. Time is the most important thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Nothing to say? Yeah. That's right.
I think he uses Tyranno Builder.
Yeah, I had some choice, and I used Tyranno Builder. It's a little software who works with bricks. You know, you have bricks.
Yeah, you've got your story blocks, and you can link them, can't you? And you can create diverging paths.
And the only technical, the only difficult system is just variables and condition. When you got it, when you know how it works, it's easy.
So easy, yeah. Definitely.
Just take times. It's kind of long. It's take times.
Yeah, definitely. And like I say, it's time. It's sitting down and actually saying, right, this is how things work. This is how things are going to work in my game. This is how the two are going to link. Yeah, definitely get that. The next thing I want to talk about the game, and this really came through for me when I was kind of playing around with the demo and stuff. The sound design, the music, and the orchestration in the game is really, it links to the tone so well. You know, you've got this beautiful kind of like piano music. You've got these lovely moments with strings. You've got this slightly bigger music. I think the trailer uses kind of like this kind of like building piece of music that becomes more kind of like bigger and grandiose as we go along. How did you and the team kind of go about developing that sound to kind of match the game and the tone, and kind of because it matches the tone so well? I'm a bit of a weirdo. I spend hours unpicking the soundtracks in video games and being like, that matches the tone really well, or well, not so much. And it just, this matches the tone of the game so beautifully. How did you kind of go about kind of developing and creating that?
Well, I'm really happy that you loved it, because I think it's the weak point of the game, you know. I do all by myself, but I'm not a musician, so I can't make music. All the music is produced by Nicolas Joly, who is a French, who works at Dark Fantasy Studio. And I love what they do, but I buy licenses, you know? I both. Not I buy, I both.
It's royalty-free music. I mean, he didn't make it, we just chose it.
No, it's not free.
Yeah, it's not free.
I had to spend money.
You had to buy a license.
There is so many titles. So I spent many hours to choose one track for the right moments. And also, like I said before, like 4th time, it will be the 5s. I'm surrounded by people who are a little bit involved in music, like you, man.
My man is a compositor and a guitarist.
So I'm the I'm the odd one out. I'm the odd one out. Some of them have offered me to compose some tracks if they feel inspired, but I won't force them, and I don't know to say it, but I would love to have a musician with me,
Yeah.
But it's my first game
Hmm.
outside game jam.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do all by myself. It's hard to say it, but I really want to improve on music before the game release. But if you like it, actually, I'm glad you like it, because it was really time consuming to find the right tracks.
Yeah. But it is, and the game it covers such in my opinion, such an important topic, something that's not been done before. When I was kind of playing it through with the soundtrack on, I was kind of just like, the music it fits really nicely. It just it kind of it matches the tone of the game and the conversations that Zoe's having on her first day and all these other bits and bobs. It matched it quite nicely. So from this perspective, it worked really well. So time well spent.
Thank you. But I want to work on this point, and I will.
Maybe there are friends who, as you said, who offer to make some music for the games, but he did not want to how to say it? He didn't want to put music that didn't fit, even if friends make them. So we do not know if music will be there or not at the end.
I'm kinda hard with myself, so I try to be softer with other people, but I'm it's my baby.
Yeah,
this game is my first baby, and I'm the kind of people who can't say no to other,
Yeah.
Even if it's bother me, or I will say yes, I will do it, of course. But for this project, it's the first time of my life, maybe I can say, no, it's okay. I have some things, and it will do the job. I'm glad of it. And if you think it's cool, actually, I'm even more glad, I think. Actually, no, it's not. Again, sorry for my English. It's kinda hard.
It's fine. It's also we're also recording this on a Friday night as well, so it's been a long week.
It's 2 whiskeys in.
It's a Friday night.
It's
a Friday night. Why not? I've got 2 questions left before we can go back, and you can go back to your third whiskey.
I will, totally, I will again and again. That's what I love the most in United Kingdom, Scottish whiskey.
Oh,
that's my favorite thing.
I wasn't a big whiskey drinker, but some years ago, and this is going to stay in the interview because it's fun. I was in Edinburgh with my partner, and I did a Scotch whiskey tour up there, and I just tried it up in Scotland, and I was like, oh, this is quite nice.
Yeah,
I did a whiskey tour in Edinburgh also a few years ago, but I was a minor, so I wasn't allowed to drink it. It was sad.
No. Oh, that's so sad.
I have to go back now.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't want to make you upset, you are from UK, that's right. But I'm a Belgian beer lover. I don't like the UK one. I'm so sorry about it.
Very good, that's why.
Yes,
it's not very good.
we found one good beer, the Slash one, and I'm not even sure it's from UK.
I think I tend to drink Belgian beers or Spanish lagers, and that's it. I think
Spanish lagers, no. Just Belgian beers, please.
Yes, yep.
We are so close from the Belgian frontier, so we got them all, but not every day, slowly.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Every now and then, there's a treat after a long day. My last 2 questions then. The first one is kind of, obviously, this game is, beautiful, really, really wholesome and genuinely lovely. What have been kind of like through the development process, some of the kind of the challenges that you and the team have met because it's a lot of work has gone into this. So kind of what have been some of those like main challenges?
Well, it's kinda hard to work alone, you know. I'm not really alone. There is many people with me, but when it's time to quit in the software, I'm alone. And I'm not a very productive person. I float around a lot. So if I'm not supervised, if I'm not supervised, you can imagine the extent of the damage. I have a friend of mine who is often available, and we invented a special technique so that I can work non-stop when I have to work. You know, I share my screen on Discord with him, and when I rumble, he calls me to order. I assure you, it's at my request. It's not a kind of tyrant. I need to be controlled. I need deadlines. If I haven't deadlines, I do nothing. So I'm this kind of guy. Without pressure, I'm not good at all. And at the end of the day, to chill a bit, we played a few games of TFT, you know, this mod from League of Legends. Yeah, we do that. That's cool. But we talk about this earlier. There is also this languages barrier. It's kind of difficult too, depending on the country. The job are different. It's not the same. For job titles, it's extremely hard. Orkais had to do a lot of research to find the right name. So we had to make it clear to anyone playing the game who does that. We should constantly remind them, oh yeah, she's a nurse, she does that. She is an assistant helper, she does that. She is a doctor, she does that. It's kinda the most difficult things we have to do.
It is, yeah. I had to do a lot of researches. I mean, I studied English, so I can talk, I can write, I can speak.
Frankly,
but I mean, the technicalities of the language, this is so difficult. Because we don't learn about that. I mean, I never learned about all the healthcare things and the illness and how they translate and things like that. But it's fun. I learned something, so I'm always happy.
It's not the funniest part for me, but for her, maybe.
It is.
Oh, sounds brilliant. Last thing then, really kind of, you know, this is the big important one that we put at the end. Currently there is a demo out on the Steam storefront for Until the End. What is kind of next for both Until the End, and have you got any plans to kind of think about future projects as well?
Well, we are currently working on a press kit for the release of the game. The project is not finished yet. I still have things to integrate. The road is still long, even if we are approaching the finish line.
Because he absolutely has to release it for the summer.
Yeah, I wanted it to be at summer. And I would also like to propose a free DLC, which would show what happens to Zoe at the end of his adventure. And let me tell you something, nobody accepts such a true ending.
Expects.
That's
not the same.
Expects. You got it. It will be very special. A kind of...
I don't know anything about it yet. Yeah, I mean, I get the dialogue day by day. I don't know the end of the game.
Oh my god, wow. That's going to be exciting. So you must be as excited as I am right now, or even more so, to be fair. Just going like, I want to know the ending.
I want to know.
And for the future, if I manage to make Until the End a success on its own scale, you know, I would really like to take a bigger project and surround myself with more people. I like teamwork. I need skills that I don't have to achieve more ambitious projects. But all of this will depend of the reception of Until the End. So yeah, wishlist us on Steam. It will be great.
We talked about this together a few moments ago, but he said he wanted to do another game. Yeah, that's true.
I want to do
you would like to do
my kid's dream, you know, the big JRPG, like do you know Suikoden? Suikoden? It's a JRPG.
I don't know if it's the same. Let me check if it's the same name in English. I'm not sure.
It's like Pokemon but with human.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Suikoden, yes.
Suikoden.
The same.
It's I recognize the name.
Yeah,
it's one of those ones where I'm like, I'm looking it up now.
It's a big JRPG with more than 1,000.
Yes, I know exactly what game you're talking about. I've just found a screenshot. I'm like, yes, I do recognize it.
I would love to do a JRPG like this, you know. I would love it so much, but it's my first game, so I can't take a so big project to do it by myself. So I really wish that Until the End find this public.
Yeah.
And people loved it, and I want to do video game. I love that more than many things in this world. And
don't say that to his girlfriend.
No, don't do it.
We'll just edit that bit out. Honestly, Orkais Davy, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been an absolute pleasure. And yeah, down in the description right now there is a demo for Until the End. Go and check it out on Steam because it is beautiful, and it is. I've fallen in love with the game. I'm not going to lie. Absolutely fallen in love with it.
I think we're close to 100 wishlists.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's amazing, and it's an important thing that actually, you know, if people know more about what goes on in these things, and it's just a beautiful game. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Last thing,
thank you.
Where can our lovely viewers find more information about Until the End? Obviously there is a link to the Steam page down in the description, but where else can people find more?
There's also a Twitter, Red Sorel Games, and then if you want to follow us also, there's Pixel Red Sorel, Orkais, and Ankelion. Go follow her too. She really deserves it.
Oh, amazing. Guys, merci beaucoup for coming on my show. Probably a
butchered
your language there.
Merci à toi. Ça nous a fait très plaisir.
That was fun.
My French is not that good.
At least you know some words.
Yeah, well, yeah. My high school French teacher will be watching. If she watches this, and we're like, oh God. Just terrible. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please do hit that like button. Do go and check out Until the End because it is a genuinely gorgeous game. Guys, thank you so much for coming on the show. It has been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Take
care of yourselves, and to everyone watching, if you enjoyed this video, why not check out some of the other videos that are floating somewhere on the screen right now as well. And yeah, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Robot Republic for all of our new content, because we have new videos that come out nearly every single day now. Guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.